Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, English 12 parents. Welcome to our virtual open house. This is Mr. Donohue coming to you from YouTube land. This is our presentation. So I want to welcome you all back. I saw many of you last year at our open house. I'm excited to have the kids back again this year for round two, I guess you call it. I wanted to say that, for the most part, the kids are adapting well to our new way of doing school. Learning behind desk guards and masks is a new thing for them all. It's certainly a different way of doing things, and I think most of them are responding well to the new challenges. Certainly learning from home, learning through a computer, they were somewhat used to it last year, but it's a little bit different this year, and I think we're getting there. We're getting there. Our big theme for this year is preparing you for what comes next and finding your place in the world. And my goal in English 12 is to get the kids ready for whatever comes next, whether that's college, entering the workplace, joining the military. I want them to walk out of our school ready to tackle whatever it is that they decide to do. And we do that, number one, through our literature work. And our literature this year is memoir. So you see here are the four main texts that we are using. The literature and the reading, it must be completed nightly. Without the reading, we can't have a class discussion. And I emphasize that many times to the students. There is reading every single night. I can't have a conversation about a book. I can't lead a conversation about a book if no one reads. And that's first and foremost. The second thing is this. My job isn't to regurgitate. My job is not to regurgitate plot. It's not to regurgitate meaning. My job is to help shepherd the kids. My job is to help mentor the students through a shared conversation about text. And I'm trying to teach the kids that, our conversations should be authentic conversations like people have in the real world. That's what I want to try and train them and try and teach them how to do. Our first text is Educated. That's the one we're currently working on. We're about a quarter of the way through. And I think the kids are enjoying it so far. We're discovering some really cool things about ourselves and the world through it. We're going to go from there. Second is the writing, which is done as a workshop model. We share our writing in this class. We put it up on the board. We talk about it. We look at each other's writing to help each other grow as writers. It's something that they're used to at this point. We did it all last year. We're going to continue to do it. We are doing something called the independent research papers. There is one of these a month. The first one is due on Thursday, October 1st. We are starting with 2 pages. That's the September paper. It's a 2-page paper. And every month we are adding 1 page to the paper. I found that this increases their writing fluency. It increases their stamina. The topics that we pick for these papers, they are relevant to their futures. They're relevant to their majors in college. They're relevant somewhat to the literature. The other thing I want to mention about these papers is that oftentimes I'll get students who know that they're not going to college, and that's fine. I tell those students to talk to me privately, and I alter the projects for them, because if a student is not going to college, if a student is going to become a chef, or they know they're going to become a cook and they're going to pursue a career in a restaurant, they never are going to need to know how to write a research paper. So I changed the papers for them. I teach them how to look into health codes for restaurants, and we design restaurants, and we do all types of things for whatever career that they're going to pursue. I remember I did it one year for a student who wanted to be a glass blower, and I had him set up a business plan so we could go get a loan for a glass blowing studio. These are the kind of things that we do in this class. We also do additional writing assignments that are tied to the literature, formal literature analysis. Throughout this, we want to work on independence, accountability, and maturity. So the students are accountable for their own work. And this is something that we've been talking about often with the kids. Canvas is our digital learning platform. I picked this one because quite honestly, it's similar to Blackboard, which is used in a lot of colleges. and I wanted them to be fluent and to be knowledgeable about something that they may be using in the future. They should all have the Canvas app on their phones. We spent some time in class downloading this and putting it on the phones the first few days of school. They had it last year. They know how to use it, but we also spent time this year. The first week we spent practicing using it again, how to access it on the computer, how to access it on the phone, how to download files from it, how to upload files from it. They should know how to do all this. If you'd like to follow along class this year, feel free to download the Canvas Parent app on your phone. I would have to add you to our class roster. Send me an email. I'd be more than happy to do that. I'll add you as a parent, and you can follow along the class as well if you want to stay up to date. We'd be more than happy to have you join our happy little family. We use Zoom for remote learning. Students should be present at all times with the cameras on. They should be sitting at a desk or a table. They should not be in their bed. They should not be eating. They should be in class. Class time is class time, and that's it. If there are any technical difficulties or any issues, they should email me, and we can take care of them. If there's any reason that they can't be in class, they should be emailing me. That way we know that the kids aren't going to be there. Submission policy. Work is expected to be turned in on time. I allow a one-day grace period for half credit for homework assignments. Essays are penalized 10 points per day that they are late. Now, the reason for this is that they've had an entire month to write the paper. And if after a month they still need more time, and if it's not turned in, they're going to get penalized 10 points per day. Now, here's the thing. I understand that there's a lot going on in the world right now. I'm not unaware of that fact. And I also understand that these kids lead incredibly complicated lives between work and taking care of family and everything else that goes on in these young people's lives. If something should arise that they can't get a paper written in a month, they should reach out to me ahead of time, and we will work on getting them more time. I have no problem with that, but they can't come to me the day the paper's due and said I couldn't get it done. They need to be, and we talked about this already with the kids, they need to be independent, mature, and accountable for their work. So they need to reach out ahead of time and say, I know I'm not going to be able to get the paper done next week. Can I have some more time? I will always say yes if they reach out ahead of time. Here's my contact information. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you think there's anything that I need to know about that's going to be affecting any of your students' performance in class, please reach out. There's my email address. My email address can also be found on the school homepage. The kids know that they can email me whenever they want. I will always get back to them as long as someone knows that we are communicating outside of the school day. For the period 2 kids, they know that they can attach Ms. Batsford to the email. She's our inclusion teacher this year. Everyone else, if they want to include a parent on the email, that's great. That way you guys know that we're communicating and I'm emailing them at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night. I have no problem responding to that email. Finally, I just want to say I wish you all a healthy and safe rest of the school year. I hope that we can meet soon in person. And I think everything's going to be awesome. Take care, all of you, and all the best. Bye.